what's up everybody, it's Amaya. So today's video is going to be a haul video. I haven't done a haul video since, let's see, it was about like April, right? Like around my birthday time. So a few months ago. It's been a minute, but I've picked up a few things, mostly from e.l.f. and Drugstore, but I also have some fun goodies in here, so I cannot wait to show them all to you. I think I might do an update on some of these products in the haul, maybe all the products, in like 2 weeks or so, but I'll have to see. I'm not making any promises, but I think that would be something really fun to do. So if you want to see that, please give this video a big thumbs up so I will know that you guys want to see a update on how the products are working and what I like and what I don't like. And yeah, let's get right into the video. Okay, so I have a giant box right here literally that has like all of my stuff in it. It's crazy. So the first thing I want to point out is the elephant in the room, the beautiful Jaclyn Hill palette. I uploaded a tutorial on this a few weeks ago and I have not put it down since. It's so beautiful and so creamy and pigmented. The shadows, like the shimmers, almost feel like they're wet. Like that's how crazy pigmented they are. And the mattes just blend like a dream. I just really love this palette and it's just so beautiful. So if you were able to get your hands on it during the restock, lucky you. Keeping on with our palette theme, I also have the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. This one is... If I did not have the Jaclyn Hill palette, this would be all I would be using right now because it is so amazing. I cannot believe I didn't pick this up sooner. I actually bought this a few weeks ago and I'm so glad that I did because even though it is $42, it's so amazing. I love the packaging and the shadows are so creamy and blendable. The only thing is they have a lot of kick up, so like when I tap your brush into there, they get a lot of like little like fuzzies. So you're gonna have to like blow those away or whatever. But honestly, the shadows are so pigmented and they just blend like a dream. I feel like it would take you forever to go through this palette. And I just love the color scheme. It's like a warm palette, but it is different. It's not your typical like orange, warm, brown, red palette. It's like you have these like light purple and pinks and yellows and oranges. I don't know. There's such a different feel to it, but it's still a warm palette. So absolutely amazing. And then another palette that I picked up was the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I know I'm like on a palette roll right now. I typically like did not like palettes. I was totally stuck on single eyeshadows. I loved those, wanted to use those, but now I'm realizing like the value in palettes and that there's actually like a lot of really cool palettes. So I'm kind of trying to like bulk up my palette stash. So had to pick up some of the staples, and obviously this one is a huge staple. It does smell so amazing, and honestly, you guys, watch this. They taste like chocolate. I'm not even joking. Like I just literally licked that swatch off my finger. It tastes like chocolate. These shadows are like no other shadow I've ever tried before. It's so different from the Modern Renaissance and the Jaclyn Hill because off the bat, they feel very smooth, but they're not like insanely pigmented. Like you see how that's like a really, it's pigmented, but like if I go in with something from the Anastasia one, like I'll go in with Love Letter right here. Like do you see how pigmented that is? Like that's like whoa bam. And this one's like bam. They're very creamy and very smooth. And then let me show you a matte from the Jaclyn Hill palette just for comparison. We'll do this one right here. So as you can see, compared to these two, this one's kind of looking a little meh. But let me tell you, it is anything but meh. While these shadows are not the most pigmented, they are so blendable. Like literally, I use these on my eyes, and when I do, they just give such a nice wash of color, and they literally blend themselves. I didn't think this was gonna be worth the splurge, but honestly, it totally was. Okay, so while we're talking about palettes, just let's get all of the palettes out of the way. We're gonna come down quite a bit in price. I picked up the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette finally. I know this is like an oldie but a goodie, but I had not picked it up because I don't know, I was just like, as you know, I'm a matte shadow lover, and this didn't really appeal to me, but I was like, you know what, it's so cheap, I need to pick it up to at least have it for reference because everybody talks about it. And honestly, I'm kind of underwhelmed, but hear me out. I think it's because of this Jaclyn Hill palette and the Anastasia palette and the Chocolate Bar palette. They've just been blowing my mind lately, but like these swatched Wet n Wild shadows are very creamy and they're very soft, and I think that's the thing. These are very soft shadows, and so I feel like when you put them on the eye, like just applying with a finger, it kind of just fades. I don't know. I have the Walking on Eggshells trio, and it's really not one of my favorites, but like these are really pretty, and they are pigmented and they are smooth, especially for the price. They are amazing, but I feel like they're very soft, and so I'd have to definitely spray these with a little bit of something or use a little bit of glitter glue or something to get them to stick and stay, because I just feel like they're kind of soft. I also picked up the Meet Matte Nude Matte Eyeshadow Palette from theBalm. I also swatched this one on my Instagram story. So this is just a basic cool toned sort of palette, and this is typically $42, but I got it at Nordstrom Rack for $14, which is pretty insane. I was pretty proud of myself. I've always wanted to try one of these. I really want to try the Meet Matrimony palette, but this one I was like, yeah, I want to try this one too. And I have to say I'm slightly underwhelmed, and I'm going to just, let me tell you why. These shadows are semi-rough, like they're just kind of rough feeling, and some of them are really pretty, like that one's really pretty and pigmented, and it's a nice like cool toned palette, but I feel like at the time this was a really great palette, but now because I have things like the Jaclyn Hill palette and the Anastasia palette, I'm looking at this and I'm like, $42 for this, $42 for the Anastasia palette. Anastasia palette is really nice. So I loved this one because it is all matte, and I don't have a lot of colors like the color scheme in this palette, so I did want to pick it up like for that reason, because these are more like cool tone shades and stuff like that. But I think that if I bought it for $42, I would be a lot less happy with it, because I just feel like they're slightly lacking in pigment and blendability, but they're not horrible. Okay, so moving on to some e.l.f. stuff. I have two palettes from e.l.f. This was new, and when I saw this on the website, it looked like it was actual like cushion eyeshadows, like cushion foundation, cushion eyeshadows, and I was like totally intrigued. Even though I don't really like cushion stuff, I was like, oh, how cool is that? And it comes in this really nice sleek packaging. They have this shade, Island Breeze, and then one other one, I forget what that one is, but this one kind of has some like pink tones, warm tones, everything like that, and then this really cool like greenish yellow. And when you open it up, you have this little clear thing right here, and then you have all of the eyeshadows, and they're not actual cushions like I thought they were going to be. They look like actual cushions on the website, but they're actually like wet eyeshadows. So this is what they look like. They're just like almost like Colourpop sort of formula, but different. They're not as pigmented as Colourpop. They're still pigmented and they're still pretty, like this shade right here. Like, look at that. I feel like they're a little bit like wetter than Colourpop. I mean, that's so beautiful. But like this shade right here, this peach shade, is very like gel-like, but it's not super pigmented, like as you can see. So there's also this shade, this brown shade I think is matte, and then this shade has like a tiny bit of shimmer in it, but it's mostly matte. And then this shade right here, this white one, is like a sort of almost like sheer glitter. So this is really an interesting palette, and I haven't gotten to play around with it much. I definitely want to try this shade and try to do some cool looks, because I really like the idea of this, and it's really cute. I also picked up the Prism eyeshadow palette from e.l.f. This was on sale. They had like a $1 sale, and this was like $4 or something like that. Crazy, right? So this is the one in, what is this? Sunset. So I know a lot of people like that one that's like the bronzy coppery tones, but that one wasn't on sale. So I was like, all right, I want to pick one of these up, because again, it's one of those staples that everybody talks about, everybody loves, and I wanted to try it out. So I picked it up, and everyone says that you have to use these with Fix Plus or some sort of setting spray. So I'm just going to go ahead and swatch them, but I haven't actually gotten to play around with these because I've kind of been saving them for after the haul. But even like without any Fix Plus or anything like that, they're still really beautiful. Like even that white one is really pigmented and pretty. They're very smooth, very, very gorgeous. I really like this one a lot. I picked up 2 of their Best Friend eyeshadow duos. There's one that's really popular right now. It's in some sort of peach shade. I'm not really sure, but that one was sold out. So I got Bestie Brown and Pink Pal because I wanted to go, again, with some more neutrally shades. And I picked up Bestie Brown because I wanted to see how the dark brown blended. Because I feel like peach, you can kind of get away with it. It's kind of like a blush. There's a lot of like peachy shades out there. Oh my god, how do you open this? So this is what they look like. They're these little tiny things, and they're supposed to be like 2 shadows that go really well together. So I think that's a super cute idea. And oh my gosh, you guys. This is so smooth and so crisp. Let me just... I'm not even like pressing down. Like, look at that. Look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Then this is the shimmer, which is like a nice dark golden brown. The shimmer is not as pigmented, and it's almost like a nice satin, but I kind of like it. Look at that, you guys. Here is Pink Pal. So this one is like a nice pink shade and a little bit more of like a cool toned brown sort of. Look at that. It's like a nice cool toned brown transition. The pink shimmer is also more like a satin, but it's really brightening and really pretty. Look at that, you guys. Those are absolutely stunning. I'm so excited to play with these and see how they blend. I mean, upon first swatch, obviously you can tell they are absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. All right, let's just continue with e.l.f. here. I picked up another one of the e.l.f. Daily Face Cleansers. I love these. I love the smell of this. Oh, it's so nice. I use this with my Clarisonic, and I feel like it's just a good, like, basic face wash. It's nothing, like, special or, like, super moisturizing or mattifying, anything like that. It's just, like, a good, like, basic gel cleanser. I really like it. Next, I picked up the e.l.f. Beautifully Bare Sheer Tint Brow Gel, and this is in the shade Clear. They have a bunch of different shades, and they had like a dark, like black brown one, and I almost picked that one up, but I'm like, no, I need to get a clear one. So I was really intrigued by this teeny tiny little brush. This is how their Beautifully Bare mascara comes, and I'm like, I wonder how that would work in the brows. I feel like that would be really nice, because I feel like you could really get in there precise. Let me see if I can do this. So I used this once and I didn't notice anything special. It is like a nice wet formula. It's really pretty, but I feel like, I don't know, like clear brow gel, is there like a lot to say? Like, I feel like it either is like the Anastasia one and like glues your brows in, or it's just kind of like, meh. I feel like there's not like a whole lot to say, but I do like how it makes my brows look. I feel like it does keep the hairs in place, and it is pretty nice. So I have to try it out a little bit more, but I feel like this is not one that's going to be like amazing, but it's not going to be bad either. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's just take a minute to admire this. Oh my god, it looks so pretty on camera. Look at this packaging, you guys. This is the e.l.f. Beauty Shield Daily Defense Makeup Mist. Oh my god, I want to try this so bad. I saw Luster Lux using this on her Snapchat, and I was like, I want to try that out. So, look at this pack. I literally just want to keep the packaging. But this is what the product looks like. So I should show you that. The product is just as beautiful. Just you wait. Look at that. Do you guys see that? It's like pearlescent. This is not hollow. This is like pearlescent. Iridescent. Do you guys see that? It's so beautiful and so high-end looking, right? Like, look at this. So this is basically a fine facial mist that says it's formulated with key antioxidants, licorice extract, and vitamin E for a nourishing layer of defense that helps protect your skin against everyday environmental aggressors. It is also used throughout the day to refresh the look of makeup. So I've tried this out like twice. So let's just spray some on. The mist could be a little bit more fine. I haven't like, I can't say like I noticed a lot, because when I used it like one of the first days that I got it, and then after that it was like a few days later. So I haven't like used it consistently to be able to tell how I like it or not. But it feels really nice on the face. It doesn't feel sticky or anything like that. The mist, like I said, could be a little bit finer, but other than that, it's really kind of cool. And I'm really excited to try some more things from this Beauty Shield line. 2 more things from e.l.f. I picked up another one of their HD lifting concealers, and this is in the shade Fair. I haven't used this in a hot minute. I used to use this all the time, like, I don't know, like 2 years ago. This used to be like my thing, and then I kind of skipped around with concealers and tried out some new ones, but I'm like, it's time to go back. It's time to go back to the good stuff and try it out. This is a really nice concealer. I really like this. The only thing I don't like is the shade range. Like, this is the lightest shade, and it definitely pulls like gray slash cool toned. So I have to be careful when I use it. I can't really wear it too much without any makeup on because it will kind of oxidize. But if I have foundation on underneath, it doesn't oxidize as bad. But it is a really nice formula. I really like it. And I think it's a really good concealer. Other than the shade range, it's a really good concealer. And then the last thing that I picked up from e.l.f. is this lip plumping gloss in the shade Peach Bellini. So I was really intrigued by this. 1, because it said plumping lip gloss. 2, because the packaging is stunning. And 3, because when I saw this shade, I was like, plumping. Light pink color. Wonder if that'd be a dupe for White Russian. That was literally my immediate thought, and I was like, I never wear lip gloss, but we're gonna buy it anyway. It's really pretty and very creamy. It has like that same like slightly sticky but not too sticky consistency, and it's like that light pink color where it almost looks clear, but there's just a hint of like light pink milkiness, and it's so pretty. Let's continue with Wet n Wild because we already started there. I picked up one of their Photo Focus concealers, and this is in the shade Dark Cocoa because I wanted to try to contour with this stuff. I have the shade Fair, which is like my brightening shade, but I wanted to pick up this dark one to see how it works because I like the formula, so I wanted to see if this would be nice for contouring. And I tried it out once and I actually really liked it. I also like it because it's kind of like almost like a yellow warm tone. It's not super gray, so it's really nice for like an everyday sort of bronzy contour. I love how this blends. It's nice and matte, but it's not drying, and it's so cheap, so I was like, heck to the yeah. Another contour product from Wet n Wild is the Mega Glow Contour Stick, and this is in the shade Oaks on You. I've seen Amy Macedo rave about this, and she has every right to rave about this because it is so good, you guys. I'm not even joking. Like, she likes a warm contour, and I almost didn't want to buy this product because I was like, she likes really warm contour. She said it's like a yellow warm shade. Yes, I have used it, and yes, it is gorgeous. It's such a beautiful shade because it does have like that bit of like yellowy tone in it. It's not too orange, and that's why I love it. It also blends so nice. It's such a creamy formula, and it's not too drying, but it is matte, which I really like. Next, I picked up this liner. This is the Perfect Pout Gel Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Think Flamingos. I want to pick up some more of these because this is not a shade I would typically wear. This is kind of like a peachy pink, and I typically go for something a little bit more nude, but this is what it looks like. I just really want to try out this formula because I heard a lot of people raving about it, and I figured I'll pick up this shade, and then if I actually really like it, I'll pick up more. Even though they're so cheap, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, this one's really pretty. It's like a nice pink, and I'm like, I don't have a lip liner that color, so let me pick one up anyway. Okay, let's move on to some NYX products. I picked up the NYX Glitter Primer to try out to see if it was better or worse or the same as my e.l.f. Glitter, Glitter Primer. And I have to say, I can't really tell if it's better or not. This one's like $6.99 and the e.l.f. one's like $2, so I think like for me that automatically makes the e.l.f. one better because I'm not going to be $2. Like, that's just amazing. But this one I really like because it is a skin tone shade, and the e.l.f. one is like kind of like clear. This one's like a light skin tone shade, and it does blend out clear like a primer would, but I kind of thought that was interesting, so I wanted to try that out. I think I'm actually going to try to do a video doing them side by side and seeing which one wears longer and wearing glitter on both sides. But I was really also drawn in by this packaging because this is holographic. It's so pretty. And then what would some NYX glitter primer be without some glitter to use? So I picked up this shade, and this is 07 Ice, and I was so intrigued by this because it looks white, but it has this very distinct green shift, and when you put it on the eyes, it looks like the most beautiful like light mint green color without being like in your face green. It's the weirdest thing. It looks so gorgeous. I wore it to a dance, and I wore it with like a light, like pale Tiffany blue, mint green sort of color dress, and it looked beautiful. It matched perfectly. I really liked it. It's a very unique shade. And then the next one I picked up is this one in the shade 06. This is Crystal. I was looking for this one everywhere because my Ulta was always sold out of it, but I finally got my hands on it and I'm so happy. This one is just your standard, like, quote unquote holographic glitter. I believe this is holographic because it reflects rainbow. Christine, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is hollow. So it's a really pretty. I love it. I used this on the 4th of July. I did like a almost like cut crease with the glitter, and it stayed put beautifully. It didn't transfer, fall all over the place, and it looked gorgeous and bright and amazing. So I love these NYX glitters. I just wish they had more shades. All right, last few things. I picked up a really interesting product, and this is from City Color Cosmetics. And the reason why this is so interesting is because one, is from City Color, and two, it's an illuminating primer. I saw this and it said a glowing complexion illuminating cream. It said it instantly brightens and soothes skin, highlight for radiant finish, and one universal shade. And so I was like, illuminating, calming, soothing, yes, please. So they had like an open one in the store, and I was like, So I kind of used it as a tester, and it looked so beautiful. It also has like this little tip to squeeze it out, which I really appreciate. It's like a champagne sort of color, and when I blended it out, I noticed that there was no glitter in this, and I was like, I'm sold. I think this was like less than $4. It's just so radiant and glowy, and there's not a speck of glitter in this. It reminded me of my Magic Lumi primer, but not as like stroby, you know what I mean? It reminded me of like more like a natural glow from within sort of thing, as opposed to the Magic Lumi, which is very intense. This one seemed a little bit more toned down, but still beautiful. So one of the next things that I'm wearing, I'm actually wearing right now, it is my mascara, and it is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I had to pick this up. Like, everybody has been talking about this, and I'm just like, all right, everyone's saying this is literally the best mascara ever. I need to get it. So I picked it up, and I used it today for the first time. I didn't use any primer, and I think my lashes look pretty darn good, you guys. I don't know how this would look with my primer. I always use the L'Oreal Voluminous primer with my mascaras, like every day religiously. I use it all the time, but I have to say, I feel like they look pretty good. They're not as like va-va-voom as they typically are, but I put like 3 coats of this on, and it did not clump, like, at all. There was no clumping. I was like, how is this still building volume and blackness and length without clumping? It's like magic. That was the thing that I really noticed about it, was it did not clump at all. And I was really like kind of shocked by that, because typically any mascara that you put on like more than 2 coats of is gonna get a little clumpy. Even by 2 coats we can start getting a little clumpy there, but 3 coats, and I was like, I was packing it on, you guys. It did not clump, so I am so excited to try this out a few more times with my primer, with other mascaras, just seeing how it works, but so far it looks really promising. So the last thing I picked up is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. This is in the shade Light Beige, and I actually used this last summer, and then I never picked it up again, and I was like, I don't know why. First of all, I love the smell of it. Some people hate the smell of it. I love it so much. I don't know, it smells so good to me. But I was like, why did I not pick that up again? Like, I loved it. It's very high coverage, very creamy, very blendable, and it's waterproof, so it's amazing for summer. So I was like, all right, summer's here again. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna buy it. We're gonna be good. And I haven't used it yet on my face again this year to see if I still love it as much, but I have a good feeling that I'm gonna love it as much. Oh, okay, you guys, that is it for this haul. We got through this. Let me know if you guys want to see an update video in like 2 weeks or so, letting you guys know how all these products worked, and if you want to see some like maybe some dupe videos, some testing out videos, let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah! Bye. Hey, what's up everybody, it's Amaya. So today's video is going to be my Ipsy versus Birchbox
epic makeup battle.